It hurts, pain, not wanting a big butt anymore. I still don't want my butt. I already got 4 reductions already. Okay. It's levels to this reducing shit. So I'm just like,
yeah, it's way harder to take it out.
It's way harder to take it out. And people be like, oh, it looks like she didn't take anything out. Bitch, I took that shit out 4 times. You're not about to keep making me go put anesthesia in my body to please y'all asses. Like, fuck that. You know, but yeah, I just wanted a more natural body, and I still do.
My boobs were leaking. And it was like, it was a lot of fluid leaking the last couple days.
Hey guys, welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest channel. If you have not subscribed to the channel yet, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, and you can hit the notification bell in case you would like to get updates on when I upload new content. So I was inspired to talk about this subject based off of a conversation that I recently did, where I was talking about Cardi B and a post that went viral on social media where she commented on someone else's post that was basically saying getting their teeth done over a BBL, which stands for Brazilian butt lift, is a priority. And Cardi B responded basically saying, no, get the BBL. That is the investment into getting your teeth done because the BBL costs less. And then you can pretty much trap an idiot dude into getting them to pay for the things for you that are going to cost the most. It's pretty much what I gather from it. Of course, Cardi B didn't put it in those exact words. Of course, you know, she had some choice words in there, including calling the guys N-words. And I'm like, well, yeah, if you're going to invest in your body just to attract a person, then yeah, you're going to attract somebody who's considered to be an N-word, pretty much. And it's like, do real women want N-words, or do they want men? Do they want, not to use a term that has been made famous by Kevin Samuels, a high value man? I don't really know what that really means because I don't listen to his content. Just some things that I've heard over, you know, people sharing things where a lot of the things that he shares, in my opinion, it's just how to be with someone that makes a lot of money and you lowering your, not even so much lowering your standards, but lowering your requirements based on what you look like and what you are rated as in terms of a 1 to 10 on a scale, and you're pretty much, you just have to settle for whatever you can get, and it is what it is. I you know, not to go off on that tangent, but all right, I wanted to talk about this because, one, I am not against women who invest in their beauty. I definitely don't believe that women, if they feel a certain type of way about their body, should not look into doing something to enhance their personal beauty and doing it for themselves and doing it in a safe way. One, myself being someone who is in the beauty industry and is a business owner in the beauty industry, I'm all about safety, high standards, quality, and doing things for the right reasons. I do believe that your mentality should be in a certain place. You definitely need to do your research. And, you know, I never would understand a woman who would go to some hotel room and allow some person to inject things into their body and they have no idea what they're doing, or going into some back room in a hair salon or a nail salon or a warehouse or a garage or whatever. Like, for the sake of what? Like, what would entice someone that much to feel that they need to do that? Now, again, I talked about this previously in another conversation because Cardi B, she shared her story about how she felt like she was actually going to die because she got shot up in her backside by somebody who was putting some crap into her butt. And she did it because she was a stripper and she felt like in order to make more and better money, she had to compete with the girls who had already had that stuff done to themselves. So the peer pressure and those different things like that. But again, living that type of lifestyle of being a stripper. And listen, I'm not here to knock people who feel that that's what they need to do in order to make ends meet. I just think differently. And I don't believe that if people had a choice between being a stripper or having some other quality compensating position, working, somewhere, being a business owner or whatever, they would choose stripping over that, because it's, no matter how glamorized society tries to make it, not just society, but social media tries to make stripping and things like that today, and the rappers going to the strip clubs and making it rain on these people, and just, it's just ridiculous. And even now, females glamorizing strippers, and they don't glamorize male strippers, they glamorize female strippers, where you have female celebrities and females saying how they go to the strip clubs and they're spending this, amount of money on the strippers and things like that, and getting lap dances and stuff. I don't understand it. It's just not what I agree with. But again, some people feel that that's their only option, and they have to do what they have to do to make ends meet. And if they're not committing a crime, then I guess, it just kind of is what it is. And the government doesn't really care, as long as they get their tax money and you're not making it under the table, then they feel that it's fine as well. But we all know that a lot of things come with that as well. And I'm not going to go into all of that right now. Getting back on the topic of the BBLs, are more women without BBLs winning more than those with them? And in my viewpoint of just the things that I have seen, news stories, headlines, people sharing their experiences with this stuff, and what I see when it comes to women who are winning that don't have those things, it's like, why are people doing this? Now, getting back to plastic surgery and beauty enhancements, again, everything has its place, and not everything is for everybody. But BBLs are one of the most dangerous plastic surgery procedures, one of the most dangerous and one of the most deadly.
I don't want to look natural. I want to have that perk, fake look.
I don't want to look natural. I want to have that perk, fake look.
Now listen, all plastic surgery and all surgery period has its risks that you have to weigh whether it's worth it to get something done or not. I don't see getting Brazilian butt lifts the same as I see getting breast augmentations and breast lifts and things like that. And I mentioned this in my previous conversation as well, because one, your ass, just going to put it plain and blunt just like this. Yeah, some men may be attracted to that part as that looks sexy, or that's beautiful, or the shape of a woman, or whatever. Some men are attracted to that, and that kind of is what it is. And some people's may be more perky, more rounded, more lifted. Some may sag a little bit. Honestly, most people's do. Some people's have stretch marks and pimples and all that other stuff. But myself, being someone who is in the beauty industry but also just sees body parts as what they were really made for, and knowing that we wax body parts and things like that, it's just, your ass is made for sitting and shitting. and I hate to just put it as blunt and plainly as that, but that's one of the reasons why I don't understand this twerk craze, because people, they have gas, flatulence. I'm just being honest. This may not be beautifully honest, but I'm just being bluntly honest. When people are twerking and they're putting their asses in people's faces, that's the type of stuff that I think of. It's like, what in the world? The smells that are being emitted from people's backsides, flapping their butt cheeks in people's faces and things like that. And people take a crap, they're gas, and they're sitting down. Like, that's what your butt is really made for. And some people who have had the procedure done, they have maybe been a little bit conservative, so you may not have known a huge difference from what they did. But the things that I have seen with some people, it is just absolutely insanely ridiculous. The size. I saw a shot of Kimbella, who's married to Jules Santana, who is on this Love and Hip Hop reunion, I believe, show. And her body, she looks nothing like she used to look. I know she's had several kids, but her body was not made that way by having children. Yeah, she may have gained weight, but gaining weight and having your butt and your hips be like the way that it is, that just is not normal. It's not natural. And I cannot imagine that she can go on for the next 10, 20, 30 years being that way and feeling comfortable. I just don't see it happening. And with breast augmentations and breast lifts, women, we use our breasts for different things. We breastfeed. I don't want to say we use them for different things, but different things we go through different things with our bodies that can affect breasts. So some people have suffered from, unfortunately, breast cancer, or they, may have had a history of it in their family. So they had their breasts removed, and then they had a reconstruction and had breast implants done. I have clients that have had that done. And, sometimes when women breastfeed, or maybe they don't breastfeed, but they just have children, the breasts go down south. They don't stay up. And that is not comfortable. It's not about being so much feeling and looking sexy or attracting men. More women do that procedure for themselves than they do it for anyone else, because it is not a comfortable feeling to have to lift your saggy boobs up, stuff them in a bra, and strap on a bra and tuck and tighten and all of those different things. And it's also not comfortable to just let your boobs hang and sag and flap and wave in the wind and everything like that either. So for more women who get that procedure done, it's for the comfort and also to just look better in their clothing and to feel better about themselves too, especially if they've had a child and they've breastfed and they just want to feel like they're getting a sense of themselves back. And I completely understand that. But when it comes to these BBLs, it's on a whole nother level. It's on a whole other level. I should say another level. But it's on a whole other level. And so between 2015 to 2019, BBLs have increased by 90%. And the procedure, it involves fat being transferred from one part of the body to the butt. And the fat is processed, prepped, and then re-injected into the bottom. Approximately 3 to 5 incisions are required. And then they're closed by sutures, meaning this is just definitely not something for those who are faint of heart. And we've heard stories also of people who've had butt implants, like Peppa from Salt and Peppa. She's actually being sued by the surgeon who did the work on her. And I believe it's like maybe a lawsuit and a countersuit situation, because she said that she had several botched procedures and some of it included butt implants. So it's just not something that is highly recommended, but definitely the Kardashians, they have increased the wave of people getting the BBLs. And of course, with social media, many people are sharing their stories of how they have gotten the BBL and those different things like that. And they're just little quick videos, especially if you're looking on TikTok, but they're not showing you everything that they have went through to get to that place, having to sit on donut pillows for months, having to lay on their stomach. They can't sit down normally, and just a number of different things, having to use the toilet in a different way. Honestly, it's just definitely not for the faint of heart, and it is definitely not cheap either. But some people have been going to get these things done the illegal way, or taking a risk and going out of the country to get procedures like this done. So when you look at people like Hazel E., who went to Turkey and had, I believe she said she almost died, but she had a BBL procedure. She's had a number of different procedures. Some would say it doesn't even look good. You look at people like Cardi B, who is definitely on top, but did this procedure really help her to get there, or was it really because of her personality? I don't think that she needed to do that in order to get to where she was, but she felt that way when she was working in the strip clubs. But she's someone who's sharing that information to people on social media saying get a BBL, but yet the people that she's sharing this information with, they will never get, ever, I can guarantee they will never get the type of life that she has gotten because they got a BBL. There's another rapper by the name of Dreamdoll. She shared her experiences of how she has had several procedures of having the stuff that she had injected in her butt removed, because now she's trying to get a more natural looking body. One of the castmates from the Bad Girls Club by the name of Winter, she shared a horrific experience about how she had a botched BBL and she got turned down by several surgeons before she found someone who was willing to help her. And that actually happens as well. There are some doctors that don't want to take the malpractice risk of trying to help or save someone based on the malpractice that was already done to them, because she even shared that she couldn't even say the name of the surgeon that did the botched job on her because she had to sign a waiver that she would not disclose that information so that she could get all of her money back. So this person is free and clear to continue to operate under their license when she should have just sued this person and maybe went after their license if maybe they are not really equipped and qualified to be doing that type of procedure. But again, her butt looked deformed. And there are so many people where I see where it's like, why do you think that looks good? But they definitely, even though they may not admit it, or they probably don't even know, because a lot of them are not in counseling or any type of therapy, they have body dysmorphia, because it's just not normal to do things like that to your body continuously, and you're also not even really gaining anything from it. Now, some of these people, they may gain followers on social media, but is that the type of attention that you really want? Is that really going to get you safely what you really want? Because even though there may be females that are following these women that do this, the majority of the people that are following them, I guarantee you, are sick, twisted guys who, a lot of them probably have several screws loose. And you've seen stories about some of these girls on social media who had lots of followers, and some guy wound up taking them out. And it's sad, but it's real, because you're putting yourself out there to be an object of sex, because that's what really people are doing when they are promoting that. But yet you have people like, I'm just going to name a few people that I see as really winning, who have natural bodies. One of them is Heather from The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. She's not married. She used to be married. She's out of the Mormon religion, but she used to be a Mormon and was married and lived that type of life, but she got out of it. She's someone who considers herself as a bigger gal, but natural, normal body. She has a successful beauty practice, and she is winning, and she didn't have to get a BBL to do that. I've mentioned her before, but I'm going to talk about her again. Another Heather from Real Housewives of Orange County. Now, Heather Dubrow, she's not one of my favorites. She's pretty icy cold in terms of, her personality, in my opinion, but the chick is winning. She is a slim woman. She's had several children with one man, her husband, that she's still married to. They have a freaking estate, not just a new home that they built several years ago in California. They live in a freaking estate, and they own property in other areas around the country and even in the world, because she said they own some property in Cabo and they're going to be probably building, another home there. Like, she's winning with a pancake ass. You know what I'm saying? And her husband is also a plastic surgery. So the girls who are losing by getting these BBLs, they're paying her husband to do the work for her. So she's just getting her pockets fat. She's not getting her ass fatter. And I'm saying she's completely winning without having to get a BBL. And I mean, these are just a few people. And of course, some of you may say, well, they're on reality shows. Well, they're not. They got famous off of being on the shows, but they were not celebrities before being on these shows. So they're just people I feel that you can just look to as being relatable, who are winning without having to get BBLs. Those are just a couple of examples of people. But honestly, if you are getting a BBL, most people are getting it to attract people that look like Offset, that don't have Offset's money, or, even close to it, but they're just looking for a little bit of a come up, as much as, they may be just scraping the bottom of the barrel to go to either a legitimate plastic surgeon and pay for it, or unfortunately going into some backwoods place or some hotel room to get some crap injected into them. And, you know, when you look at people like K. Michelle, who is a celebrity, but she shared her story about how she had to have her butt reduced, and it was, you know, she was having a lot of issues where it was affecting her legs and things like that. It just really baffles me that after hearing stories like this, that people still come out and do stuff like this. And I don't know much about her personal relationship, but she's supposed to be on this upcoming season of Marriage Boot Camp Hip Hop Edition, which I may talk about that show in another time, because I won't even go on about that show right now. But nobody who is winning is on Love and Marriage Boot Camp Hip Hop Edition. Nobody. And she's done a lot to her booty to, you know, increase it. And it's like, increase it for what? I feel that girls, young ladies, young women, they are the most influenced by what they're seeing on social media. They need to start following some other examples and following some other people who are in, you know, everyday society, who are winning, who are in science and in tech, and, you know, they're chemists, and, you know, and they're financial advisors, they're accountants and have accounting firms, and or whatever, bankers, and they have real natural bodies and they are winning. They're not looking for anyone to do it for themselves. And if they have someone in their lives, it's not because of the body that they had to attract the person that they are with. And I just feel that with the stories that are coming out about these people that are having these botched BBLs, you're seeing more of this than ever, and you're probably going to see more of it as the percentages of people who are getting these procedures done increases. Then people just really need to start rethinking their priorities, the life that they want to live, and the lifestyle that they are trying to portray. Because again, most people are getting these BBLs to showcase their assets on social media, but it's not really gaining them anything. We already know that it doesn't really mean you're making a lot of money because you have a lot of followers. So is it really worth it to get a lot of followers? You feel like you need to get a BBL, so you need to get, you know, so that you can get more followers. And it's like, oh, my numbers and followers are increasing. Well, what is that really gaining you? Or, okay, you have an OnlyFans account and you're having to strip or do explicit things for people to subscribe to your content on a monthly basis. Like, is it really worth it? For some people, hey, it may be, but it all comes down to people's priorities and their morals and their mindset and how they, you know, want their lifestyle to be. But with us seeing people are also getting these things hopefully corrected or, you know, getting their butts saved by someone who is capable of doing the work, then I think those are the people who are now regretting doing these things, and they're hopeful that they can turn things around and then just start living a more, you know, as close to normal as possible life and lifestyle. But I just really just felt compelled to talk about this and share my thoughts on it. And I would really love to know what you all think about this in the comment section. Like, what do you think about this? Do you think that the women without BBLs are winning more than those with them? I think that they are. The only thing I believe, or persons I believe who are winning when it comes to the BBLs are the surgeons, period, because they're getting paid. And unfortunately, those black market people who are charging people $1,000 to inject some polymers, or, you know, fix a flat or whatever they're injecting into these girls, and they're getting, you know, $1,000 for however long it takes to do what they're doing. It's crazy. Hopefully, you know, people will wake up and stop doing that stuff, but I believe it's still going on. There's always going to be a black market for stuff like that. So yeah, but anyway, you all let me know your thoughts about this in the comment section. Thank you so much for liking, commenting, and subscribing. And until the next time, I'm just being beautifully honest.